Today we're talking about energy medicine that a lot of people have asked me about recently, and it makes me think of the first health teacher I had, the first really serious health teacher in the mid-1960s. He was a chiropractor, James McKimmey, and really interesting guy. In fact, he wrote a book that you might like to look at called Presence of Angels. You can find it on Amazon or any of the major booksellers. And yeah, he was a chiropractor who was great at adjusting the spine so the nerve transmission would be unimpinged, but his main work was what you would probably call energy healing, and he used to stand, I can't show in the camera too well, but he stood like 3 feet from the table, usually at the feet, with his hands just out like in front of him, not high up but down at waist level, palms up, and he would just relax, and he'd even be talking to you while he did this. Clearly wasn't something that he was consciously doing, and this energy would start flowing through him. You could feel it come in at your feet. It would be warm and kind of relaxing energy, and he had some amazing experiences with what happened with his patients. I mean, some of them didn't notice very much, but some of them got up out of wheelchairs for the first time in 40 years. I mean, it was pretty intense, and I got a lot of help from him. And one of the things that he always said was, don't neglect improvements that you need to make in your lifestyle. And he would tune into what people needed to change, even if they didn't tell him, and said, well, you know, you really need to stop doing such and such, or start exercising this way or something. And if you don't, you're going to have a relapse back to where you were before, which happened to a lot of people. So the message was, the energy healing helped a lot, and it can be totally miraculous, actually, like these guys that started walking after he worked on them. And anybody can develop that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But it doesn't take away your lessons, and you still need to fix what you were doing that wasn't so good in your life before: eating, drinking, exercise, sleeping, how you're thinking toward other people or yourself. Or you can't just ignore that stuff, because it's part of why we're here. But still, the energy healing can be a big boost to anybody that runs into a good healer like that. And it comes through frequencies, and some of the inventors, including some we've talked to on the show, like Ken Rolla, have put these frequencies into really helpful physical machines or devices. One of the well-known ones is the Rife machine, which I've had some experience with. But my question with the Rife machine is, it's adjustable. You got to put the right frequencies into it, tune it the correct way. And if you don't, it might have no effect or a negative effect. And I've watched people trying to use it who were in very deadly disease conditions, and they died, and the machine didn't save them. So don't put blind faith in those things, but they can be helpful. There's one that Ken makes, freshandalive.com, you can see it, called the Home Shield. I've used one of those for years, and they're really good. Another one, I'm sorry, that one's called the Rest Shield. The bigger one's called the Home Shield, and he's not even allowed to talk about what it will really do, but it's quite beneficial and powerful. So, powerful energy healers exist. They are the biggest technology. In fact, Ken has agreed with me that the technology that we have dormant inside of us, every one of us, you, all of us, is stronger than any synthetic technology, including what Ken puts together, even though he makes some of the really good ones at freshandalive.com if you want to see them. But he said, we and you and all of us are the most powerful energy healing technology, but you've got to tune your consciousness in to appreciate and use that. And there are a couple of different major ways to do it. I don't want to go too long here because I'm trying to make these videos shorter, but you can put your own personality level, energy, ego into it. And if you do that kind of energy healing, you get burned out, and I don't recommend it at all. For us to think that we are something really special and nobody else can do it, that's the wrong track, you know. But if you learn to tune into it and relax, which we've been talking about on the Planetary Healing Club at most of the meetings lately, you have to relax at a very deep level. And then this life current, which is there anyway because it's keeping you alive in the body. But if it flows through without barriers and then flows out of you to other people and the world, this is really, you know, one of the things I ultimately want to see happen. And the point is to learn how to let that flow through you, not to ignore lifestyle changes that you have to get off drugs. I'm not telling you medical stuff to do, but in general, drugs, the ones called medicines, are toxic chemicals. That's how they work. And they might have some benefit, but on the other side, they've got massive drawbacks. So the more you can get away from drugs, the better. Some doctors will actually help you do that, but certainly the recreational drugs and the over-the-counter drugs and behavior patterns that we're using like drugs to be unconscious, we have lessons to learn. And so we got to improve our own life and get back in touch with this source energy that's flowing through us all the time. It's okay to get a boost from good energies from other sources, not just other people and devices, but nature. Nature itself is a big one. And if you get out in nice places and grounding and sunlight and water and good things like that, exercise outdoors, that's a huge boost to your physical health and your consciousness. And your main work is always there. Learn everything you can about upgrading yourself, your own consciousness, your physical health, vitality, energy. You got to bring that back up as close to normal, which is amazing, as you really can, and learn to consciously allow this life current to more and more flow through you and just take over. I recommend you start working with this, playing with this immediately, because none of us have a guarantee of the length of time we're going to be here, and it's easy to blow it away and it goes by fast. So start learning, start applying, do it by yourself, that's fine, or with a friend, or do it with us in our support system in Planetary Healing Club. And you can check that out, lostartsradio.com/club. But it doesn't matter. You don't need me or anybody else. You can do it whatever way you feel like by yourself. I've done a lot that way. But start and apply it. And if you want to help the outside world, work on yourself. We're going to have a guest on very soon, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, on a live stream and on the radio, that is going to talk about another really unusual energy healing technology that's done some great things for people. So you might be interested in that. Tune in and keep track of the upcoming shows and everything. But remember, you want to help the world, work on yourself. You want to help yourself, pour out everything you can for other people. It's all the same thing. And we'll talk more about that later. See you soon.